Happy Monday, everyone. This is Martha with Nature Niche. And for this week, I wanted to talk about the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's listing decision related to monarch butterfly. So lots of us have been waiting to hear what's going to happen with monarch. And it was announced this week that the monarch is warranted for listing as either threatened or endangered under the Endangered Species Act, but its listing is precluded by other higher priority species. For example, in the Great Lakes region, there are 9 species whose situation is more dire and needs attention first. Some of those species include Blanding's turtle, little brown bat, and the golden winged warbler. So that means that the monarch butterfly is now a federal candidate species, and while that status doesn't give it legal protection under the Endangered Species Act, it does mean that its situation will be assessed annually, maybe even into 2024. So they'll keep checking the status of our populations, and the Fish and Wildlife Service highly encourages cooperative conservation efforts in the meantime. So federal agencies should be considering this species on their projects on federal lands, federal actions like environmental permitting. So what does this mean for the general public and those concerned with monarch butterfly? It means we have more time to take action and try to help save the species. It means we can continue to conduct research. Citizen scientist projects like Monarch Joint Venture has a great listing of different ways that you can monitor. Everything from the Journey North project to Monarch Watch and Monarch Larval Monitoring Project. So, and lots of other options. So I'll have this in the store and be talking more about those as spring approaches. And besides being a citizen scientist, it also means that this coming season we'll still be able to rear monarchs, handle them, find eggs, find caterpillars, raise them indoors. And I would just say this species is quite rare, and if you're going to do those things, make sure you do your research, you understand how best to do that. Be responsible about it, and make sure you're educating other people as you go through that rearing process. So we can do that still without having to acquire a Section 10A, 1A recovery permit from Fish and Wildlife Service. And I just want to stress that indoor rearing isn't going to save this species. What we really need to do, all of us, all hands on deck, we need to make significant changes across our collective landscapes. The main threats that are facing monarch butterfly, its habitat loss and degradation, basically not enough milkweed in the landscape, not enough nectar plants to support the species, exposure to insecticides, climate change, things like rising sea levels, higher temperatures, extreme storm events, and wildfires. So what we can do, one of the most important things we can do is plant milkweed, which is the sole host plant or type of host plant for monarch butterfly, and nectar plants for the species that are native to your particular area. So do your research, plant native plants. Winter is a great time to learn more about that and plan your native plant gardens. We can also garden and farm organically and use integrated pest management to help avoid and decrease the use of pesticides in the environment. So don't use systemic insecticides, minimize the use of herbicides, be selective about which ones you choose, and don't apply them to actively flowering plants. And perhaps get on a no spray list if you do have insecticides being applied in your community. What we're trying to do is have healthy, chemical-free plants available, milkweed plants for the monarchs to lay their eggs on and their caterpillars to eat, and healthy native wildflowers for them, the adults, to nectar on. You can be a citizen scientist, as I mentioned, and help share data specific to your area. Again, winter's a great time to read more about those different projects and consider how you might get involved. And educate others about monarchs and these conservation measures. MSU Extension, and MSU has this pollinator, Michigan Pollinator Initiative, and under that they have a Pollinator Champions program. So you can go online, register for that. It's free to go through the self-paced course, and they have units on, why do we care about pollinators? Who are our pollinators? What's happening to our pollinators? And, what can be done to help our pollinators? So again, in these slow, cold winter months, as we're missing our flowers and our butterflies, going through a course like that, educating yourself so you can help educate others, is a great thing to do. So I hope that update was helpful, and if you want to come in and talk monarchs and native plants, I'd love to see you. Take care.